going to be planting Paperwhites. It's a kind of narcissus or daffodil that you can force inside, so you can have blooms right inside in the middle of the winter. It's a nice way to bring spring. This is a simple project for your family to do. It doesn't involve a lot of materials. You can force the Paperwhites, but there's also some other kinds of bulbs that you can force as well. So it's just kind of a fun project. In the project, the resources that we sent along, we gave you 6 of the narcissus bulbs, and so that will allow you to plant a little, try a little on your own, and then plant some to give to a friend or a neighbor or have in a different room, whatever works for you. All right, so note that we're going to be planting our Paperwhites in soil. You can do this in just rocks or gravel alone, but if you want to plant the Paperwhites and then use them in your garden after, replant them in your garden, it's better to do it in soil. So that's what we're going to do today. So here's what you're going to need. You'll want your Paperwhite bulbs, soil, about 4 cups for every 3 bulbs, gravel, okay, and a container. And any container will do. It doesn't have to be a container that's like a plant pot. It could be a jar, or a decorative container, or even a mason jar will work just fine for this. And then you'll want some water. First step is you're going to add water to your soil so that it can be sort of ready and damp. So I'm going to put my soil in a bigger container, and then I'm going to add some water and mix it up and let it stand for a little bit. And how much water you put in there just kind of depends on how dry the soil is. I actually need a little bit more in there. So we'll let that sit for a little bit. So the next thing you're going to do is put some drainage rocks on the bottom. So this container has some holes, so I don't have to put that much. Good inch or so on the bottom. Next I'm going to add soil, maybe a couple of inches. Just enough so that when I put my Paperwhites in there, the tops are going to be above the soil line. And next I'm going to put my Paperwhites in there. So when you look at your Paperwhites, there's a pointy top and then there's roots on the bottom. So we're going to put the roots down, and we'll space them so that I'm going to put 3 in this container, and I'll put them so that the greens are kind of growing out. I don't know that it really matters, but that's how we're going to put it, like that. All right, and then we're going to cover it with a little bit more soil on the top. I don't want to cover the tops. I just want to cover the bodies. All right, it's gonna look like that. So the last thing I'm gonna do is just add a little bit of water, okay? And then it's all set. I'm gonna put this inside in a room with sort of filtered light, not direct sunlight. Keep it in a room that is a little cooler until the greens start to grow, and then it can go in a warmer room. A little cooler, I mean like 50 to 60 degrees. If you live in a big old house, that won't be hard. But just keep it out of direct sunlight until it starts to blossom. And then when you're caring for your Paperwhites, you just want to make sure that you keep it watered, and after everything starts to die back, you'll want to cut the greens off the top. If you plant it in soil, you can bring it outside and plant them in the garden in the springtime, and they'll come up next year. That's it, easy as that.